Now, I don't know what to call a panel that makes decisions that causes death other than a death panel. But that's all that is. Now, there's no one panel out there that's going to go out there and decide that you must die. There'll be a lot of little panels like this that will make decisions that ultimately will result in death. When you withhold a drug like this that can save breast cancer victims' lives, and you choose to do it because you don't want to pay for it, that's a death panel decision. There's no other way to look at that than in that way. So I got out, I started talking about these kinds of things. I would talk to anybody who would listen, probably more than I should. And of course I started getting attacked for it. There were so many things said about me, and I have to say most of them were amazingly entertaining to me. If you can ruffle the feathers of the Democratic underground and Media Matters, then you're doing something right. And we sat down one night and tried to look up every criticism about me on the internet. And I know we couldn't get to the end of that list. We kept finding more, but they were so funny. I mean, I'm the devil. I don't really have a degree. They wanted to see if I was really credentialed. I mean, people who don't. I will say this. I will certainly offer up my credentials, my degree. I'll even show anybody my birth certificate if they'd like. I just want you to know who I am. But a lot of things have been said about me, and frankly, every time they said them, it was really an entertainment to me. Now, there were some things, there's some times where I was attacked. I've never, by the way, to my knowledge, I've never been attacked on any fact I've ever said. I have never heard anyone say of me that a conclusion I have reached is unfounded. I've been called a lot of things. I've been called a racist. I've been called a Nazi. I've been called a prop. Geraldo Rivera went on air and called me a prop. Geraldo, I challenged him. I said, Geraldo, I will discuss, debate, whatever you want to do. I'll discuss healthcare with you in any forum you like. I'll go anywhere you want to do this, in front of any crowd. I'll go on your television show. You can have complete control of everything. You can control the lighting. You can control the B-roll film that shows in the background while we talk. You can control my microphone. You can have control of everything except the facts. I'll have control of those. And it's the offer's still there, but of course Geraldo's not going to take me up on that. When you step out of your comfort zone, and I'm asking you to do that. I know you are all voters, but I'm asking you to step out of your comfort zone and do something more this election. Get involved in a way you haven't. People will attack you. People will say things about you. People will be condescending to you, and every time they do it, all it will tell you is that you're being effective. All it will tell you is that you are making something happen, that you are joining something bigger than yourself. You will be a part of history when that happens. No good patriot steps up for his or her country without somebody trying to tear them down, and they will do that to you. And I'm asking you to step out of your comfort zone and let that happen. You'll find out that it's really not that bad. So I went forward and I said, there are solutions too. I know that there are problems in healthcare, and I got to take that out of there. I know there are problems in healthcare, but there are solutions, and these are not that hard. I can tell you some of these right now. I don't even need a teleprompter. Yeah, so that one's good too, right? Now, that's not the closest, by the way. That's like the closest I can give to an attack on Barack. I have never, anybody who's ever read anything I've written or seen me anywhere has known I've never attacked him personally. I've said many times, I'm against the plan but not the man. And partly because if I were to say anything about him, I'm going to get about 20 phone calls that night from people all over my family that I just don't need to get. So it's probably best just to not do it. But that one, I can't let go. I mean, come on, when you see the teleprompter set up in a grade school classroom, I mean, come on. I think I have free license to make fun of that one thing. What can we do for the healthcare system? One, we can stop government intrusion. Remember last year, the government came in and said women in their 40s no longer need mammograms. And I'm a radiologist. I practice mammography. 20% of my breast cancer patients are women in their 40s. They need mammography. We can do better. Number two, tax fairness. Right now, we have a tax system that if an individual wants to be responsible and take their own hard-earned money and buy their own insurance policy, they are going to face a tax penalty as compared to getting it through their employer. Now, when you get your insurance through your employer, and most of us have it that way because of the way the government has intruded itself upon us, then that insurance company does not answer to you. That insurance company answers to your employer. Now, you may have a great employer, but they have different needs than what you have. And that's not to say anything bad about our employers, but that's just a reality. Your car insurance company answers to you. They don't answer to your boss. They don't answer to your human resources rep. They answer to you. And as a result, they're going to try to provide you with the best care, the best customer service, the best prices they can. My insurance today, compared to when I started buying it 20-some years ago, is actually less. And that shouldn't make any sense. Cars are far more expensive than they used to be. And also, by the way, I'm not talking about the difference in buying it as a young teenager as opposed to buying it as a middle-aged man. And yes, I've just described myself for the first time ever in my life as a middle-aged man. But the insurance rates have come down because these companies have found innovative ways of doing it. They're able to compete across state lines. They're able to operate in a free market the way we don't let the health insurance companies do. And we can find new innovative ways of doing things. One, for example, is the health savings account. Now, the health savings account is actually an amazing idea. It's one way to allow you to have some control of your healthcare destiny, and not just your healthcare destiny, but your financial destiny as well. It allows you to make cost-benefit decisions on your own healthcare system. Obamacare has in its language the ability to kill the health savings account. With the stroke of a pen by an unnamed, faceless bureaucrat in Washington, they could today sign the order and health savings account could disappear. And this would be a travesty because where they have been tried, they're the only method that has shown healthcare costs to go down without sacrificing results. Now, one of the most important things we can do to help get healthcare costs is eliminate the frivolous lawsuits. This is a chokehold on American medicine. Every doctor knows that you try to avoid the lawyers. I was faced with my first lawsuit when I was 1 week into residency. 1 week. Now, it was eventually dropped, as was the other 30 doctors named in that lawsuit. The hospital, the paramedics, and everyone else was named in this lawsuit. All of it was dropped. It was all frivolous. But it had its effect on me. The next patient I took care of, I thought about that lawsuit coming my way. I wonder, what should I do? And I'll tell you something right now. If they were to eliminate these frivolous lawsuits, and with it, the defensive medicine that we waste around $200 billion a year on, I may very well see a decrease in my income. I'm a radiologist. I see imaging. I do medical imaging, of course. And imaging is one of the ways that we waste money. Doctors order them to protect themselves from the lawyers rather than necessarily to serve the patient. That might put a hit on my income. And I'm fine with that if we can get rid of this defensive medicine and actually practice medicine in the free market the way it should be practiced. So all these things, they can happen and they should happen. And I know everyone in this room, well, I shouldn't say I know, I suspect everyone in this room recognizes that a free market system would be superior to what we are building for ourselves. And there are many people who say, but it is what it is, the law is passed. 2-1 in America, 2-1 right now, Americans favor the outright repeal of Obamacare. That number is growing. They're out spending around $100 million a year of your money trying to promote Obamacare, and that number keeps growing that people want this thing repealed. Obamacare has faced the voters one time so far, and that's in our good friends in Missouri. Any Missourians here today? A few of them. I suspect the rest are Kansans. I got to say, as a Kansan, I love you Missourians, and I just want to say I'm really proud of our state, our Kansas state role in the union. We occupy a unique role. We have been protecting America from Missouri since 1856. I love you. But when Obamacare faced the voters in Missouri in the form of ballot initiative C of whether or not Missourians wanted to be able to opt out of forced government care, 71% voted against the president on this. That is astounding. You are not alone. You are in the strong, sometimes silent majority. America wants this thing repealed, and it will be. And for those who don't believe it can be repealed, I have a message for you. Yes, we can. Now, recently I was invited to meet with the president, or summoned, I'm not quite sure. I've not been quiet about my opinions, and so we had a chance to visit, and I'll keep that in confidence. Most of it, frankly, was matters of family, and I'm not going to betray that. I'll say simply, that kind of euphemism, you can agree to disagree. I don't even know if we can agree to disagree. We agree that our mothers can be proud of their sons, even if their sons are at odds. I think of this opportunity of being able to meet with the president, and it's really an honor. And you might imagine if you had the opportunity to meet with this president, if you could sit down with him, what might you want to say to him. And I would bet 1,000 things would come into your mind. And if you want to ask him questions that he would have to answer, I bet you could think of 1,000 questions. And I won't betray the confidence of what was said there, except the one I have to share.